I like, click, subscribe, do all that. You know what time it is. It's Netflix time. This movie's called Dynasty Warriors. Warlords, warriors, and statesmen wage a battle for supremacy in this fantasy tale based on the hit video games and the quote-unquote romance of the Three Kingdoms. So it's what's called a Hong Kong military movie that came out recently, about 2 hours long. I was wondering if it was based off the games, but as I just explained, it says it right there, so there you go. Spoiler alert, let's get it. So we start off right with the beef. We got this guy Dong here. We got the Yellow Clan versus the Red Clan. Who are these three niggas up here? Well, in the middle you got Li, on the right you got Hing, and on the left you got Huang. They're all brothers in arms, not by blood necessarily. But they fight for each other and they bout that life. Also, you got this motherfucker up here who got powers controlling shit. All of a sudden his troops sniffing this powder and become like zombies. Do you smell what the Rock is cooking, heaven ass? And then they just start going ballistic. But then a band of brothers come through to even the score, and they got their magic blades wiping 100 niggas at a time. They actually saved Dong's life. My man Lee gets to the top and fights the magic man, and gets his candy ass up out of here, done deal dead. Or so we thought, cause he got back up and retreated. The Red Squad triumphant for now. Our group of three don't come from no village, no rank, they don't come from nowhere. They just out here causing justice. He was like, that's what's up, we appreciate you. And then we got this guy by the name of General Chow. We'll get to him in a minute, cause this storyline is fucking insane. In and out squad, they're ready to cause more justice. So somehow we end up finding out Dong is actually a traitor. He actually had the old emperor executed for the new one. And he has no choice but to follow suit or he's getting a death sentence. Meanwhile, you got the old niggas complaining. They like, what we gonna do with our situation? And Chow's like, you gonna complain like some bitches all day, you gonna do something about it. Then they try to throw him out. He's like, man, fuck this shit, I'm out anyway. Back to one of the Imperial guards. You dare question Lu's loyalty? Nigga, we don't play that shit. Then they end up struggling for everybody to see, giving them the beating. Everybody like, yeah, don't be disrespected. We got loyalty over here. But here come a gang of the red niggas, but they don't want to kill him, they just want to get him out the way. And that came from right here. This scene's just awesome. Look at this. Just blowing them away. It's great. Yeah. Then they all head out to travel, get to the forest, and get some enlightenment. But when they go deep into the forest, they run into this chick who happens to be the guardian of all weapons. Then she tells them the story of General Chow. Strap yourself in for this shit. But before I talk about him, we gotta talk about General Lu first. Now, General Lu is a freaking beast. Basically, he can wipe out 1,000 niggas in one swing. He got electrical powers and all that, and he basically takes out his former master just because he ain't like him. Just some ruthless stuff, man. General Lu serves under Dong, and General Lu is the best that they have. He's Dong's right-hand man, obviously. Bottom line, you don't fuck with General Lu. Alright, now it's time to get to the story of General Chow. Now, this guy's been a puppet to Dong, right? But along the way, he's been given strategies to help General Chow. Basically, he gives him this blade that can cut through any steel. When he gets his chance to meet up with him, that's when he goes for the kill. But he's got to do it while General Lu is not in the presence. So Chow gives Dong on war strategies, and he offers him horses and food. He wants General Lu to make the arrangements. General Lu don't trust this nigga, but he gonna do as his boss commands. So after General Lu leaves, Chow, before he became General Chow, almost caught the boss while he was sleeping, but as soon as he woke up, he acted like he was presenting him the blade. Not to arouse any suspicion. General Lu comes back in and gets aware of the situation, but he ain't buying that shit. So after Chow leaves to get the horse, General Lu tells Dong, he's like, look, I don't trust this motherfucker. He's like, alright man, if you insist on doing something, just do it now. So as Chow's getting ready to leave, they said the cavalry at him, he's been exposed. Yeah, get the fuck up out of there. Then it turns into a chase in the forest where General Lu is chasing after Chow. Chow got a little bit fucked up in this exchange. So as he was getting away, General Lu sends this shockwave. It takes out a piece of a fucking mountain. So General Lu thinks he's dead, he goes back to his post. Come to find out, this random couple spots Chow lying in the ocean. Meanwhile, Dong's having the time of his life getting finessed by ladies. Then he gets the news about Chow disappearing. He's like, fuck that, I don't believe he's dead until you find the goddamn body. Find his body. Turns out he's been hiding out by the stranger or the couple that was taking care of him. So it turns out the government ended up putting a huge bounty on his head. And guess who turned him in? The fucking couple that was taking care of him. Turning on niggas for the love of money. Well, anyway, he gets captured, and his man that was helping him out before is supposed to provide the execution. But he ends up giving him this long, heartfelt speech, and because of his words, he finds some way to get him out and let him go. There's only one problem I have with that. How was he able to get him free without getting himself killed? Because you know Dong wouldn't have went for that shit, or General Lu. But then again, we never see him again throughout the rest of the movie, so maybe he did die for his actions. Then we see him at this random village with a guy he owes a debt to. He didn't really trust a lot of the people there, but he doesn't have a reason to fuck with them. So as he's trying to get some sleep, he overhears these guys talk about slaughtering them pigs. We're gonna catch them too while they sleep. All this other foul play, right? So he says, fuck that, I'm gonna get to these niggas first. He tries to leave out the door, but he gets locked in, and he thinks they locked him in the hut. So he breaks the door down, and he's thinking these niggas are trying to kill him. He ends up killing all these niggas. The fucked up thing about all this, he starts hearing a noise, and he actually hears two pigs in a stable. So it's fucked up because they were actually talking about two real pigs. And when the door closed, nobody locked them in, and it just accidentally locked over the top. So because of his paranoia, Chow basically killed these niggas for no reason. What in all of these fuck? So as the Elder's making his way back, Chow has to tell him what happened. And because he knew the Elder wasn't going to accept this and probably wanted revenge, he ends up killing him too. Then he sets off on his own so he can get an army and stop the Dong Dynasty. But his mans with him was thinking about killing him while he was asleep. But instead he just left him and went on about his business. It was around that time Chow had met up with the princess and claimed the ultimate sword of justice. And then set his sights towards Chief Pao so he can get himself a legit army. And because everybody heard about him all over the place as the warning posters, he was respected and feared. They joined his ranks and he became a certified G. And that's the backstory to Chow so far. And how he became the general. So now our three bandits wake up and their weapons are even more powerful because the princess made it happen. Then they head over to the Imperial Gates. The guard's like, hey man, you got an invitation? They pull out one, but he don't even accept it like that. Then all of a sudden Chow pops out of nowhere and he approves our squad. Now at the head of the round table, you got about 18 generals here, each coming with at least 10,000 troops. And they ready to go against Dong and the Empire to do damage and cause business. But you gotta get a game plan together. You can't just walk up in there thinking you about to take over shit. Now the easiest way to get to the castle is this way called Hollow Pass. But they know for a fact that spot is gonna be heavily guarded. So he's gonna send our three guys over there with his troops over the Hollow Pass, and everybody else will cut around the rear. Especially now they know that General Liu is gonna be guarding it. Meanwhile, Dong kinda knows what's up. He knows the location, so he's trying to send niggas over there right now. And his boy Hula is gonna lead the troops. Much to the chagrin of General Liu. Then we got Lee and Chow playing a nice game of chess. Developing strategies and all that. And then here comes Hula with his niggas lined up ready for beef. They want the one-on-one action first. So they send out this guy talking about he's undefeated, he ain't never lost. Well, he lost today, got his head chopped off, he done deal. Nigga chopped off his head and landed all the way into the pit. See, right there in the pit. And literally, that's what he did to about 5 other people that kept coming out. And then Lee had enough of this shit. He's like, alright, my turn. Hell of a battle. Hula, you was running shit for a while. But the buck stops there because you got decapitated. And all them niggas didn't want no part of that. They ran away like some bitches. Yeah, child, I told you I got this shit. Man, I ain't had no doubts. I'm just saying. Dong is mad. He's about to let loose General Lee. And General Liu is ready for the beef. And they coming through full-fledged. But then this dude launches an arrow. Look how far he launches this shit to. All the way through the freaking cavern for a message. The message, simply put, says Hulu is here, he'll be at Hall Pass, and you already know what time it is. Anybody who laughs like this and it straightens up real quick, you know not to fuck around with. Later on, he goes through the snow for some reason. He looks down over the water, and he sees this random chick about to walk into the water and commit suicide. So the reason she's trying to commit suicide is because she's being forced to marry somebody she didn't want to marry, and it just happens to be Dong. He's been grooming her for like a long time. He's like, look, just stick by my side, I won't let you get hurt. And just like that, this chick named Dao gives herself to Liu. Pimp status, bitch! And on the other side, we have some sparring between Wang and Chow. Serious business. And this fight scene, along with every fight scene in this movie, is fucking awesome. And now they Halo's Pass, it's time for the beef. The squad all here, you already know what it is. Gang of niggas lined up, ready for it. Then on the other side, you get General Liu and his squad lined up. He's ready for the happening. And then they all rush in, it's time. They definitely lined up in some crazy formations to trap the squads in. It's pretty damn smart. And everybody else is holding everybody else from coming off the bridge. General Liu is pissed off. And then for the North Winds, General Chow was knocking off other niggas. One of our boys delivering fatal justice, but Liu's had enough. He wipes out a bunch of niggas just to get them off the bridge. And now it's the brothers versus Liu. Explosion dodging, nigga. Just the force of their energy meeting alone destroyed the entire bridge. And then the epic battle takes place down in the trenches. Then they put their own blood in their weapons to get extra more powerful. And they turn Super Saiyan all of a sudden. Look at that. So epic. This nigga's still mad with a bunch of chicks. As far as the beef go, the brothers live and Lee gets away. I guess he's gotta live because he's got a girl to attend to now. But a lot of carnage was left out on top. Literally everybody died. And because of their defeat, Dong had no choice but to leave the kingdom. But he still plans on getting married to Diao. Meanwhile, Xiao looks over the destruction. He picks up the Diao flag. It says, man, get this bullshit out of here and let it burn. Look at him loving his handiwork. He said, yeah, he escaped, but bottom line is, we'll get him. But for right now, we gonna take over this shit. This nigga's still alive somehow, and he's ended up talking to Diao. Unfortunately, what we don't see off screen is that on Diao's wedding day, she actually stabbed Dong to death. They couldn't show us, the audience, getting his just desserts. You know what I'm saying? A fucking traitor and all that shit. They were supposed to show us, damn it! Well, after all the destruction, he goes to pay himself a friend. A couple years goes by, he visits the three brothers. The brothers actually got their own army of 20,000. Meanwhile, Chow's has grown to 100,000. Rolling deep in this shit. And for right now, they live in harmony until the next battle. But Chow, somewhere along the line, still got some unfinished business. So wait a minute, what happened with General Liu? Did he end up getting with Diao? Why couldn't they show us Dong getting deaded by Diao nonetheless? It's crazy. Now, they say it's based off the video games. It's been a long time since I played Dynasty Warriors, so my brain is on fog. Honestly, it makes me want to play that shit right now. Dynasty Warriors on Netflix. Check it out. Like, click, subscribe, do all that. You know what time it is. Sleep easy, all easy, mister. Big. Good goddamn slogan.